What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. I'm your host, Disco, and today we're going to continue on with our two-part series of talking about gerrymandering. Last time we talked about Oregon, Nevada, New Mexico, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida's gerrymandering, how they illegally gerrymandered. And today we're going to be talking about the other 13 states out of the 24 states that have illegally drawn their maps: Arizona, Utah, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. Uh, now let's get right off with Oklahoma and Texas. Sorry, I'm using this as a checklist at the same time. So yeah. So let's talk about Oklahoma and Texas. Now we'll start with Oklahoma. Now Oklahoma has historically been red in general. So let's get rid of this. So let's go back to 2008. 31 points, 35 points, 36, and then going from like 33 to 33. Yes. But there are some small pocket blue areas. There is a growing Oklahoma City. There's Tulsa, there's Norman, there's this county right here, and that's pretty much it. I think there's like a few counties right here. These three counties right here will never flip. But if you actually look in the 2020 election, look at this county right here. That county where I'm pointing. Actually, let me get it in purple. It might be a bit hard. That's Oklahoma City County. That county has been getting more and more blue. Now, will that flip? It will most likely flip. But that county also made the district in that area more and more blue because ever since 2002, they've pretty much had the same map. Excuse me. This map right here, pretty much the same. I think that candidate, yeah. This has pretty much been the same. And then nothing in 2016, the incumbent won with like a 57% vote share to Russell. And then Kendra Horn won it by just narrowly, but then lost it in 2020. But still, by Oklahoma standards, not by a big margin. So it is clear that that district is getting more and more blue. Although, however, this district was gerrymandered out of existence for Democrats. It was split. Hold on, did I talk about this in my life? My deepest apologies. I just went back and reviewed some videos. Basically, reviewed a video. Basically, like, I'm making sure I'm not repeating myself. So, what happened to this map? Well, Oklahoma City was basically cut into three areas. Basically, to the fifth, to the third, and to the fourth. Now, that is extremely sad. This is a cracking scenario. This is illegal. Unfortunately. All right, we'll go into our next state, Texas. Everything's bigger, including their district for some reason. Now, the Texas is historically getting more and more blue. I don't need to tell you that. Pretty much every person in the country knows that. If we go to like 2000, 21, 22, 11 points, but this is the coolest. This is the shift that shocks everyone. This was not seen by pundits. 15 points to within a single-digit margin by Clinton in a year where Democrats did terrible, and then Biden doing not that good. He didn't do good in Texas, but still better than other candidates. But yeah. But if you let's look at the House races, and you'll see what I mean. We'll look at 2016. That's a good standard. Is that single digits? Oh no, I thought that was single digits. No, that was solid. All right, but look at this. There's 23 solid seats and one likely, one lean, and 11 solid seats. Let's go back. Let's go to 2018. Boom, 13. I'll go to even more. 12 in 2020. What happened? Dallas, Austin. No, this is Houston. Austin, San Antonio got more Democratic. Well, they lean more to the left now, and their suburbs lean more to the left now. Districts like the 6th, even to the 24th, the 3rd, the 21st, the 31st, the 10th, the 22nd, the 7th, slightly now the 23rd, have becoming more and more blue. While these districts, excuse me, while these districts have been the 15th and the 34th have been becoming more red. I have no idea why. Please don't ask me why. That's a bit of a history that has generally been weird. But look at these districts when I turn. Look at what they did. So look at all this blue. I'm actually going to circle. Look at all this blue. Look at this district. Look at this district here and this one here and so much more. I'm gonna go here. Look at then and look at now. This district right here. Notice how it's all packed together. I'm gonna do the same thing to Houston. Let's go to the current districts. Trump by 1 point here, Biden by 8, and Trump by 1 here. This is like huge suburbs here. Then and now. Look at this. Basically all packed together. Basically giving them a line here. So it is clear that Texas did some gerrymandering here. There was a bit of a gerrymandering scheme. So it is clear in the eyes of, if you are looking to have representation, Texas is not a place to do it because it is basically gerrymandered for the Republicans. I understand that Texas has a huge Republican past, but it is getting more bluer. It's actually not bluer, it's actually getting more purple. And I know I've been saying that constantly, but this has diluted many minority votes. It has many of the minorities live in Dallas, live in the San Antonio and Austin area. They live in the Houston area. They live in El Paso area. Those are the areas where minorities live in, and they've packed them to give them no representation, and they even cracked them in some scenarios. Say like take the 24th district. Yeah, we'll actually take. I'll actually zoom into this district right here, the 24th. It's 12 points. Yet again, this district might flip in, assuming there's a blue wave type of year. But that's pretty much it. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I'm actually going to point out two others. So yeah, we'll get back into there. We'll go into the next two states, Kansas and Missouri. Kansas did something weird. Kansas is also trending more to the left. For some reason, a lot of these states are trending more to the left sometimes. Some states are, some states are not. So, but what they did was they cleverly split Kansas City and they put it more to Ottawa and more rural counties. That was seen, that was foreseeable, and Republicans did that. But they had a veto-proof majority to do so. That's why they that's how it got over the Democratic governor Kelly. In Missouri, originally there was a bit of compromise in there. This district was controversial, and so was the 5th. There was the idea to split Kansas City into like multiple different districts, but in the end of the day, though, they just kept it. They cannot split Missouri's first because see that margin. If they split it into two, they'll actually be more legal to split into two than just to give it one, because it would give Democrats two districts. Also, if they split it enough and basically said, "Oh yeah, this is if they split it enough times, it'll be illegal because you'd be diluting votes from minorities." Okay, and then Utah actually did the same thing with cracking. They basically cracked Salt Lake City, because if you actually notice, 32, 25, 16 around those. This is actually about 9 points. But okay, I'm gonna point to 16, 17. But look at this top right here, 32, 20. Look at this next one, 25. 19. Yeah. So they went went more blue because they were in a bit more to Salt Lake City and therefore cracking it. I'm actually going to go to our last Sunbelt state, and it's actually going to go to Arizona. Why do I say Arizona is a illegally gerrymandered? I actually I'm actually not saying it is a legally gerrymandered in this case. This is the one case scenario where I think that this map is not illegally gerrymandered, but I think there's a lot of discrepancy in it. Because if you actually pull up a House of Representatives map, so let's take 2020 for example, and we'll use Politico for that, because Politico did a really good job at like showing off like what's the margin in these and what's the minority vote in there. Is it more white? Is it more minority type? Uh, we'll just use Arizona for example. Even shows like what would be the margin. It'd be like an estimated margin, obviously, because to get an exact margin would be extremely difficult. If they got it down to the T, I'd be stoked. So I'm gonna remove Politico over here. Now this district is obviously solid right here. Arizona's 9th. Arizona's 8th is likely. Arizona's 2nd is no. Arizona's 5th is solid. This is actually a district that Biden carried by a point. The first district, although this is the new first district. This is a lean district. This is solid. This would be likely, and that would be solid. Likely and solid. This would be a tilt. So, okay, maybe. I actually deeply apologize for this. I am actually going to throw out an apology. I made a mistake. This part will be cut out from the video. I was wrong. I originally thought that this map was a bit more towards Republicans, but it is a bit more towards Republicans, but not as much as I thought. So my deepest apologies. I was wrong. I was wrong. All right, let's go on to our next state, Nebraska. Nebraska actually was a compromise between Democrats and Republicans. Republicans actually wanted a more biased map, but they don't, technically speaking, have full control. They have a weird system. So this was a draft Republican plan. This was basically to give them a bit of a lean 17. What was the other one? 17, 20. It's very similar, but the Democrats actually just wanted to keep the same map. I think this one was a bit more. Yeah, they just wanted to keep the same map. But they compromised. They did democracy. But I am also disappointed in this. This is legal. This is legal. Although it does dilute a bit of Nebraska's first. I am cutting this out of the video. All right, next state. Des Moines. Not Des Moines. My God. We'll go into Iowa. Iowa had a Republican control. They actually had a map that favored both sides, where they basically said, "Hey, let's give Democrats a chance to win a district, and then let the two other ones be competitive because it's still a battleground. This one would turn more red over time." They actually rejected the idea. I actually think this was the most unbiased map of all time. Well, not of all time, but map of like the redistricting process in Iowa, because a 7-point lean margin, a 7-point partisan margin in Davenport, Iowa, and Cedar Rapids, Iowa, basically giving them this district. And Iowa's second basically being a bit more lean Republican, and Nebraska's third being competitive, while the fourth being out of commission. But they decided to go for a weird map. They decided to go for a plan two, basically screw up everything. So they diluted their original idea of Iowa second, made Iowa's first and third more competitive. So yeah, that's why I put it on the illegal maps area. Now we're down to our final 5 states on with my countdown. We have Wisconsin, we have Illinois, we have Kentucky, we have Indiana, and Ohio. We'll actually talk about Ohio right now. Indiana and Kentucky are actually going to be combined for this second. But Ohio actually didn't they had their map like taken down twice? Because I swear to God, they had their map taken down twice. Because I remembered that it was taken. Because I was like, I know it was taken down, but they just passed something similar. And I was like, yep, we're just going for the same map. It's like, how many times was the map taken down? Yeah, on January 14th, the Ohio Supreme Court invalidated the congressional map enacted by Ohio's Republican legislator and governor in November. Uh, so yeah, this is only going to be. They actually. This map won't be good for 2024. Actually, they said the Ohio Supreme Court said again, saying that you have to redraw it again. But because the primaries were already done, this is like we can't tell you to redraw it now. The election's coming up. Oh yeah, Democrat amended proposal rejected, approved. And then there it goes. So yeah, they had a bunch of ideas, but the most the best one for Democrats was this one right here. Basically giving them Cincinnati, giving them a second district in for the Columbus area, basically making the suburbs of Cleveland more competitive and making Toledo a bit more competitive, although Toledo should still be more blue. But Dayton, Ohio is still Dayton, but 9, it would be a bit more Democratic. They thought Republicans were thinking to pass this map, which was the most biased map of all time. I saw this map and I was no, this is really biased and so plainly illegal that, and I would think any court would be like, yeah, this is illegal. It's illegal. So Ohio definitely has a redistricting issue that it needs to address. Speaking of redistricting issues, Indiana and Kentucky both have one. Indiana and Kentucky. Kentucky just basically the legislator has a veto-proof majority because there's a Democratic governor in there. So it was plus 13, plus 11 to the plus 13. Basically, there's a county here that's yellow that's leans a bit more Democratic. Cut that off, it becomes more Republican. So basically, packing a bit more of the Lexington area. In Indiana, I think there was just one plan and that was it. Yeah, draft and that was it. So the Indiana's 5th was very much so competitive and in play that Democrats had a chance of winning because it was the suburbs of Indianapolis. That was gone once Republicans said it, and they gerrymandered so they could win it, and gerrymandered a bit more Indiana's 1st. So yeah, there's a lot of gerrymandering going on. Now Wisconsin. Now let's go to Illinois. Democrats did something interesting. They packed Springfield together, and they packed as many homers as they can, and tried cutting Chicago as much as they could to maintain their seats. And they tried carefully inserting how many people they could into Rockford, into this new 17th district. Because Trump won this district in the presidential election. But a Democrat won in the House of Representative election, as shown in here. Yeah, only won by 4 points. This is not the biggest margin. So it wouldn't surprise me it doesn't surprise me that they tried gerrymandering it. I think they had like wars. I think they had like more gerrymandered maps. But at the end of the day, though, they said that, yeah, we're going for this one. Now for the final map, we're going with Wisconsin. Wisconsin's the most tricky state because back in 2018. Back in 2018, Republicans had controlled 5 seats and Democrats controlled 3 seats. But Democrats won 53% of the vote here. Does the Senate election show that this? I actually want to see the Senate election in this. Does it show the like predictions, and does the governor race show it at least? I need more like data. Lame duck legislative session. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Actually, this picture shows it all. Look at the amount of precincts that are red, and look at the amount of precincts that are blue. Municipalities. Um, Now, there's more red than there's more blue, but the blue is actually more densely populated, so therefore having more people. And I did not mean to click that. So there's always that. Yeah, there's no congressional district I can find. But it is known that Democrats can win a majority of the vote, but they cannot win a majority, not even a close majority in the House of Representatives. The closest they can get is possibly winning a fourth seat. Although that's going to be gone because the incumbent in the third district, Ron Kind, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, basically said, "I'm retiring." So that basically gives Wisconsin Republicans that district, although it is still slightly competitive. There have been other ideas to give. There have been other ideas. I'm just going to click on a random one until I can get the best. I actually just picked the best one for Democrats. So what is the biggest difference? Milwaukee's cut into two, giving them 2 solid districts. Wisconsin's first, going from a +14 to then a +9. I remember this was won by like 9 points by Donald Trump. So that would be a 5-point gap. So about a lean margin here. I know this is won by 3 points here. So yeah, that's about a 8-point gap right there. Wait, hold up. Let me actually do it. So I think it was won by 3, so a 6-point gap. Oh, that'd be slightly more Republican. That'd be slightly more Republican. But yeah, it would give more representation. So yeah, this was the most Republican plan. I want to see this. Huh. Wait, the most Republican plan is the most Democratic. Oh, okay. I see why it's the most Democratic. Okay, this is actually would give them a fighting chance, and this one would also give them a fighting chance. This map is the most. This is the best unbiased. So there you have it, guys. Those are the states that I said that are legal gerrymandered and illegally gerrymandered. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave in the comments down below what I should do next and what should I talk about. Remember, the midterm elections are only 23 days, 23 hours, 45 minutes, and 30 seconds left. I'm filming on October 15th. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hasta la vista.